What is the worst reason to break up with someone? Reason 1. I once had this girlfriend who looked great some of the time and ugly some of the time. When I thought about it, she really only looked good when we went to my favorite coffee shop, so I tried to make sure we only saw each other there. But she caught on and got annoyed that I only wanted to see her at the coffee shop. What complicated things was when my friend saw her on the street. He's only seen her on a bad day and didn't realize it was her. The idiot, he told her that I was actually dating another woman who was much uglier. Thinking I was cheating, she confronted me at a holiday celebration. Another female friend of mine was there, and so my girlfriend naturally concluded that she was the ugly girl I was cheating on. I ran after her to explain that it was all just a misunderstanding, but when I caught up with her, she looked ugly again, so I decided to just let it end. Reason 2. I dated a boy in the beginning of middle school for about 2 weeks. He spent the whole summer chasing me down in summer school. So I gave in and said I would date him, and he ended up breaking up with me because he didn't know how badly bullied I was, and his friends, who took part in bullying me, decided I was too fat. My ex-husband was my high school sweetheart, and about 2 years into our relationship he dumped me because I didn't do my hair and makeup every day. Once I started doing my hair and makeup, he saw the attention I was getting and asked me back. I had a boy break up with me because his parents didn't think I dressed well enough and could tell I wasn't from the same status as them. Also, I was Christian, not Catholic, and that was important to them. Reason 3. I left my first boyfriend because my family was paranoid about us meeting. For context, it was an online relationship, but we adored each other, and he was a real sweetheart that wouldn't step on an ant. He was supposed to visit me that summer, all the way from Florida to Middle Eastern Europe. My family didn't think much of him. My mom was rather fond of him, even though she doesn't know English. But when they heard he's coming over, they filled my brain with all of the dumbest shit. What if he kidnaps you? What if he hurts you? What if this? What if that? And I, being the dumb spineless 15-year-old that I was, decided to listen to them. I broke up with him, and we never talked again. Worst of all, I never gave him a good reason. Skylar, if you're seeing this, I'm truly sorry. I'm sorry for being a naive, stupid, cowardly little girl. I hope you finished college and found happiness, and I hope you're sharing the dreams we've had with someone worthy of you. Reason 4. I'm black. She was white, and her father was a bigot. We met in college and connected over books, particularly Sun Tzu's Art of War. Started dating, and it felt like we genuinely fell in love. But her father came to town, met me, played it cool in front of me, then told her privately that he did not want mutt grandchildren and did not want a big bad word in his family. Apparently, what Dad said went because she promptly broke up with me. Tried to apologize until I told her to save it. On the one hand, I will not demand someone go against their family for me. On the other hand, if said person is not willing to stand up to bigotry or fight for us, then they are not someone I want in my space. Who told me all of this was her cousin, who I had become friends with and had stopped talking to her uncle because of his racism. Reason 5. The same thing that broke up so many others. I thought I found a diamond in the rough, the sort of guy others overlook because of something petty, egg short, receding chin, lives with parents, unemployed, etc. But no, I can see how amazing they are. They always seem smart, funny, into doing fun stuff. Just what you want, right? These guys find me intriguing, sexy, and fun. In the beginning, they like to say I make them feel energized and want to do new things. But it doesn't take long before they realize I'm not a manic pixie dream girl, and just a regular person who is cute and social and interested in a lot of things, that I have some needs and an inner life. Pretty soon, they don't want to do the fun stuff anymore. They just want to stay home and watch TV or do the same things over and over. When I suggest new things, they shoot down every suggestion. They stop asking me about my life or my interests or even my day. If I try to bring something up, they just kill the conversation or change the topic. Then they start picking on me, my looks, my habits, really anything and everything. Pretty soon, the only acceptable conversation topics are how was their day, what to eat for dinner. We can only talk about their day, their thoughts on all the ways the world has wronged them, or why they are so amazing and no one sees it, or of course, how I am doing XYZ wrong for myself, in my house, with my life, whatever. They clearly don't even like me anymore, and I eventually crawl out totally drained. Reason 6. I had a feeling she was cheating or talking to other dudes because she did the classic putting phone face down after texting, slightly tilting the screen away from my peripheral, and giving those flirty smirks, sometimes after texts. One day when she was at work and I was hanging out in the car, I went through her phone and went through her Instagram DMs. My worries were true, and she was flirting with a lot of guys. No sexting, as far as I saw, but it was just clear as day. Dan girl, you are hot. Need a tattoo? Let me know, love. And she would reply, oh yes please, with kiss emoji. Classic shitty situation, because she was obviously flirting and doing stuff I don't think anybody would appreciate. And I did the classic fuck up of going through someone's phone because of my insecurities. All around it was lame. Obviously, young relationships are risky, but what I remember my friend telling me before things got serious with her was, "Dan dude, she ain't been single for a minute lol." Completely ignored him because I knew this girl since first grade, but damn, shoulda listened to the homie. Reason 7. Apparently asking for more affection. Holding hands, simple cuddling, was too much for him. It was my birthday, and he decided to go out with friends. I told him it was my birthday and was hoping we could just celebrate with him. We never had date nights. His friends were always involved. I guess I was asking for too much and broke up with me over text that same day. Went over to his place the next day to pick up some of my things. He gave me a fist bump, told me to have a good life, and blocked me on all social media. Don't know why, but I never once begged him back or said anything mean. His BL told him many times how he made a big mistake letting me go. I put up with a lot of shit other girls wouldn't have, and realized that after we had broken up. Dating is exhausting. Reason 8. He ate all my edibles in one go while I was in the shower, after I told him to eat only one because I made them very strong, one for him and one for me. Then he turned around and told me he didn't remember me telling him that, or remember eating both edibles. 15 fucking minutes after I said those things. 15 minutes after eating them, he didn't remember it. Bullshit. I will never ever be convinced he didn't remember that. He ate both of those edibles because he went hid them both. It was then that I realized he was out of control. He couldn't stay out of rehab, was constantly doing shit that would, if caught, get him thrown in jail, again, was probably shit-faced drunk and hiding it. Alcohol was something I would not tolerate from him, because he has a severe problem with it, has drank himself into a literal near-death coma more than once, and was lying to everyone about not drinking. In and out of rehab like a washed-up actor, but minus the fame and money. Of course, after taking almost a full gram of THC that night, he got really stupid, clumsy, and acted like a complete asshole once it kicked in. Thankfully, he passed out about an hour and a half after he ate them both. I babysat him until it wore off, just to make sure he didn't stumble across the street to the liquor store and drink himself to death or do some other stupid thing. And when I could finally shout him awake, at 8 a.m. I packed up his stuff and dropped him at his place, after totally unloading on him and telling him we were done. I'd Google him to see if he's still alive or not, but he's got a really common full name, so I doubt I'd find anything. Dude needs some heavy-duty, Dr. Phil Tier grippy sock hospitalization, but he will never get it and probably wouldn't get sober even if he did. I feel pity for him, but I can't save him. Reason 9. I moved like 6 hours away. I think it was for the better though. We had a pretty toxic relationship. We tried doing the long-distance thing for a while, but pretty much knew it wouldn't work out. She started seeing another guy before we officially broke up, so I kind of played up how upset it made me so she would kind of just let it die. even though I was already seeing someone else as well. But that didn't work because she kept wanting to see me when I would be back home for whatever reason. And once when she and her boyfriend came to visit the town I moved to, I inadvertently got her to stop bugging me nearly a year after we broke up though. She had borrowed my ma's shop vac when we were still together, and my ma asked me if I could get it back when I was back home for Thanksgiving, I think. So I called her and was like, just leave it outside and I'll come pick it up. I showed up and she was there, so we talked for a bit and I left. While I was leaving, she asked me to come back, so I texted my friend about the situation. Like what, right? Dude, I accidentally texted the ex instead. She was like, this is me, and dang, it must have pissed her off because she hasn't tried contacting me since. Reason 10. We were poly and they started dating partner after partner and eventually just stopped to even pretend to tell me when they started dating someone new. Then they got it in their head they wanted to be a sex worker. I support sex workers, but also recognize how dangerous a job it can be. And when I was trying to voice my concerns about the way they had planned to go about it, I was being an unsupportive partner and was given an ultimatum. I stayed and shut up, just hoping they'd be deterred by the actual amount of work that goes into sex work. They were. They thought being an escort would be easier than just getting a normal job. Then their friends violated my consent in pretty serious ways twice, and they didn't stand up for me or stop talking to those friends. Instead, they doubled down on, well, was it really that bad? And there's a lot of nuance. Then their friends started to tell them about how they thought I was super creepy and weird and felt uncomfortable having me around, all while their friends would publicly applaud how great I was and come up to me willingly for hugs, even when I wasn't really feeling giving hugs. Then during the pandemic, after not seeing each other for several months, their response to "I really miss you" was, "Yeah, it'd be really handy if you lived with us. I'm almost out of weed." At which point I completely pulled away. Then a month later they dumped me because they couldn't be my only support system, and I should go to therapy to deal with my depression. True statement, but the depression seemed to clear up after a couple months of being single. So, and the final straw for me was when I apologized for being grumpy, and they said, "That's great that you apologize, but your apologies seem to be losing meaning without any action behind them." They never once apologized to me. It's been 3 years, and I'm doing much better now.